Same thing here, a simple image, again, shot with the 135, focusing on some volcanic rock in Hawaii. This is shot wide open with the 135. One of the features I really appreciate on the M11 is the live view stabilization feature, which is, it allows you to, it's an aid when it comes to using live view. And it stabilizes the images, especially if you're using longer lenses or lenses with a very shallow depth of field. So this would be a situation in which the live view stabilization was really a helpful feature. And again, when you zoom in at 100% of this image, the amount of detail that can be seen, I mean, my partner here is a rock climber. You can see just the amount of detail not only in her hands, but also on the volcanic rock, the little particles that are shining through that rock as well. And this is, again, wide open. The 60 megapixel sensor is taking full advantage of our high resolution APO lenses.
Nathan, could I interrupt for just a moment?
Please, yes.
You touched on that live view stabilization, and that's something that was a little confusing in the marketing messages. Tell us more, if you will, about how you use that and when you use that live view image stabilization.
Yeah, so this might be a situation that's happened to you before where you're using a lens with a very shallow depth of field, like one of the Nautilus lenses, or a longer lens like a 90 or 135. And when you use those lenses using live view, I tend to go to 50% and even 100% of the image to make sure that the elements that I'm focusing on are clearly in focus. When I'm doing that, especially with these longer lenses, I get some of that shake just because we're seeing 100% of that image. With this new feature, the live view stabilization, the image is digitally stabilized, and it allows you to focus very easily on a subject like this, very small, without the amount of shake that you'd usually have with a camera that does not have this feature. This camera does not have stabilization. It does not have optical stabilization or in-body stabilization. And the reason why is because we decided to prioritize the thinness of the system. The M system, body and lens together, is currently the thinnest full frame system in the world, and is a part of the camera that we think that our customers love. And so we didn't want to make the camera bigger just to add a feature. This is something that we brought the M10 camera back to the original dimensions, similar to the film cameras, and we wanted to keep it that way for the M11 and add more tools for the photographer to help them get that shot.
Right. Thank you. A lot of people are confused that the stabilization wasn't IBIS, in-body image stabilization, and it's something that's difficult to do in a camera as thin as the M10 or M11. But what I would say, because I don't work for Leica and I'm not under the same restrictions you might be, is, when the M9 came out, or when the M8 came out, they said, well, the camera is so small, we can't put a full frame sensor in it. And yet they figured out how to do that. So I have to believe in my heart of hearts that by the time we get to an M12 or M13 or M14, the geniuses at Leica will figure out how to do IBIS in a camera as thin as the M11. I'm crossing my fingers.
If there's anybody that can do it, I feel like the engineers in Germany have a very good chance of doing so.